Oh, hi, yeah. Accordion Cool, Coach Dave here, all right. Well, the first song was called Blue Skies. Blue Skies. We actually have some blue skies outside today. In 1926, written by Irving Berlin. I don't know if it came from a show or anything, or maybe Irving just sat down one day, I think I'll write a song, and there it is, and we've got it. It's almost 100 years old. Wow. Well, we do have a little theme today. What is it? Well, blue skies. Is it colors? No. Well, it kind of narrows the list of suspects. We're going to talk a little bit about the weather today, okay? Different things that happen with the weather. So we got blue skies. It's always a nice place to start. And the second tune called the Summer Wind. Summer Wind. And it was actually a German tune, and somebody was nice enough to translate it. So the Mr. Sinatra had a big hit on it in 1966. So let's see what happens with the Summer Wind. Here we go. Summer wind. Okay, so we got blue skies. We got a little bit of wind. And you know what sometimes happens a lot? Sometimes during the day, well, it gets a little misty. Misty. 1954, a fellow named Errol Garner. Errol Garner was a great jazz piano player. And he's from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Now, Pittsburgh, when you think of Pittsburgh, you don't think too much about jazz musicians. You think like the steel mills and all that stuff. But I guess if you do a little research, you find out a lot of the great jazz musicians came out of Pittsburgh. No, don't ask me to name them, but their names are, you know, in the interweb somewhere. So, but Errol Garner, 1954, he wrote Misty. Of course, he wrote it as an instrumental. Some young lad named Johnny Mathis came along around 1958, and somebody had put words to Misty, and Johnny Mathis probably had the biggest hit of his career on Misty. So let's see what it sounds like on Coach Dave. Anyway, here we go. Misty. Okay, so we've had blue skies, we have had a little bit of wind, and we had a little bit of mist. Well, this next tune was written 1937, I believe, and I think it came from a film written by the Gershwin brothers. One wrote the music, and the other one wrote the words and lyrics. And it's about one of the world's biggest cities that seemed to have a fog problem. Now, they called it fog, but I believe if you go back and research it, it was smog. But I mean, a smoggy day in London town just doesn't make it. A foggy day, and then you put some nice lyrics with that. So we'll stay with a foggy day in London town. Foggy day. We'll stay with foggy day in London town. Well, you know, there's been a little persistent breeze, so I think we're going to go back to the wind a little bit for this tune. There was a big movie somewhere in the late 30s called Gone with the Wind. Everybody's seen that 1,000 times. 1937, fella came out with a song, called it Gone with the Wind. And he got criticized for it, saying, you know, he was just playing off the movie to get publicity. And he said, no, 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 that just happens to be the name I chose for the song, and just because it happens to be a little movie that's out, you know. And of course, all those folks are gone now, so we have no way of knowing. And I was first introduced to this tune by the late and great Art Van Dam. It's on several of his albums, and he always kind of liked this tune. So I'm going to play a little Gone with the Wind and kind of use a vibe sound to give a little Van Dam sound. So here we go. Gone with the Wind, Gone with the Wind. Man, a little tribute to Art Van Dam somewhere in there too. He was the best. He was the pioneer of this whole jazz accordion thing. So did get to know him a little bit, and he was very much a gentleman. Well, you know, we got a little extra time today, and I thought we might, because these songs aren't that long. So after you go through all these weather problems, and then it gets dark, and you look out, and you go outside and look around, and there's a little moon glow out there, and that's a song that came from 1933, and I don't know much else about it, but I was just messing around this morning on the interweb, and I found a nice rendition by Diana Krall. If you're not sure who she is, she's a great jazz piano player. She's got a quartet, I believe, and she sings. And I was listening to that this morning. A little bit different. I do it a little more up-tempo, but she did a nice, pretty ballad. So, Little Moon Glow, here we go. Moon Glow, Moon Glow. All right, well, we are now getting down towards the end of our time, and of course you go through all these weather patterns, and the next morning you wake up and you look outside, and what do you see? No, not rain, not rain. You see the sun, you see the sun. You say, oh, it's sunny. Oh, gee, that reminds me of a song, a little tune called Sunny, written by a fellow named Bobby Hebb. Bobby Hebb. I think it was 1963, somewhere around that time. And it's designated as kind of a soul jazz, so I'm not quite sure how you play soul jazz, but we're gonna close today with Sunny. Here we go. Sunny. Well, I had an interesting, let's say, personal experience with that song way back in the 60s, right about the time it was popular. Now, I've been very fortunate through all the years to have worked with some, a lot of different musicians and a lot of great musicians. And several times in that era, I had the chance to work with a trumpet player. And he was a former player for the Toronto Symphony. So, this guy had chops. He could play. Now, you see, my beef with, things like classical music and stuff is everything is the same. Every note is the same. If you play it 100 times, it's all the same. And if you watch me, I mean, if you hear me play a song 3 times, it's not going to be the same even the 4th time. So we're playing, and he's playing Sunny, and so I figure, yeah, let's give him a chance to kind of, let loose. And I play another one. Da 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 da. Exactly the same. So lesson learned. The classical guys, they're great, great, great players, but they don't think for themselves. And that's my story for today, and being my story for today. And thank you all for watching, listening, tuning in. However it is that you get this show. And as usual, the big guy behind the glass. I can't see him right now because there's a camera in the way, but I know he's there somewhere, and so he's. If it sounds good, you know it's him. If it doesn't sound good, well, I can't think of why else it would be. So, and you know what I'm gonna say. Bring the young'uns in to hear tunes like Sunny and our little weather show. Hope you enjoyed that. So, let's go home. Oh, how about Sunny?